What going on, guys? We are Tottenham TV here, back with another 5 takeaways here with John Cooper, who's standing in admirably for my brother.
Ben's absence.
Yeah, done a sterling job. Sterling job, so Raheem Sterling. Fantastic stuff. We've got 5 takeaways from the game.
I'm interested to know what they are.
Disappointing draw against Fulham. Let's see what we can learn from this game. So let's get straight away. The first takeaway is small issues, big problems.
Go on, what do you mean by that?
So the small issues are, in terms of the bigger picture, how we're performing in the league. Second most chances created in the league. We're creating chances. How many goals are we conceding? How many chances are we conceding? 4 goals conceded from open play in the league, which is the lowest in the whole league. But individual mistakes and too much encouragement to the opposition is really costing us and preventing us getting us points at the moment. So in terms of how we're playing and the overall scope of things, the issues aren't the issues are kind of small, but it's creating big problems for us in terms of actually getting over the line for results.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, totally understand that. Yeah, you think like everything's in place, but just those last finishing touches aren't there, which is just like killing us in terms of league position and letting in silly goals and stuff like that. Yeah.
So it's really, really frustrating. I think, again, same thing happened again yesterday. We're just giving too much encouragement. One mistake costing us yet another point. But we still created a lot of chances and we still didn't give up too many chances. So in that sense, like, there's not too much wrong. But what is going wrong is causing big issues.
Got you, yeah.
So that's the first takeaway.
Yep.
Second takeaway is the fullback threat. So obviously we have been looking to get our fullbacks a lot more involved since we played against West Ham, where they were pushing hard up the pitch. Since then, we've kind of been a bit more reserved. But yesterday was probably the first time we've seen in a while where we had that dual threat back on the fullbacks, and that proved. I was shown in the stats where they both created 2 chances. Big chances each from the left back and the right back, Aurier and Reguilon, getting out of the pitch really well. And if it wasn't for some poor finishing, they would have had a couple of assists each. Yeah,
that was Reguilon's best game for a while, which is probably proves the point, right? Is that
exactly.
Been given more license to go forward, and so we're seeing the best of him. Whereas before, I think I've almost got the impression Mourinho said, "Don't go forward from the touchlines." You know what I mean? To Reguilon, and made him stay further back. So that's good to see.
Do you think the fact that we
played better that way?
Yeah. Do you think the fact that we had Højbjerg, Wings, and Sissoko all on the pitch kind of gave them more license to go forward, or do you feel like that was just more of an instruction in terms of this game? It's always difficult to say.
Yeah, it's difficult to say. I don't know the answer to that one.
Fair enough.
I know, but I do know that Sissoko kind of goes everywhere, like I said before, on the pitch. So he doesn't play that. He doesn't hold a disciplined position. So I'm not sure if that's a causality or a correlation, but. Either way, I'm loving the fact that we're seeing like the old Reguilon back. You know what I mean? And
I felt like they were quite good at creating chances as well. Once they were getting in the positions, they were quite good at picking someone out in the box. And it's a shame they didn't get more for their performance. And I reckon actually, seeing Aurier and Reguilon was probably the closest we've ever got to Walker and Rose since they've left.
Yeah,
you would have to say.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
All right, so that's the fullback threat. Number 3. Dominant Ndombele.
I'm really surprised that in the papers they didn't have him the best player.
Yeah, did they not see what he does?
Not one paper that we went through had him as the best player, but I thought he was head and shoulders the best player. I don't know what you think.
I agree with you, especially in the first half he was.
Yeah. He's always a one-half player.
Yeah, I know, but he was so good in that first.
So dominant, and just brilliant on the ball, so press resistant, so able to turn out of little cul-de-sacs and create chances.
And it bears out on the stats as well. If you look at the stats, first of all, he competed and won the most duels out of anyone on the pitch. He had the most successful dribbles than anyone on the pitch, 6 dribbles throughout the game. And he created the most chances than anyone on the pitch. Created 3 chances. So really impressive display again showing off his offensive ability with through balls. Again showing off his dribbling ability. And again showing off his ability to get stuck in a bit more than he was last season.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And not only just creating chances out of nothing.
Yeah.
That's what he does better than any player that I've seen for a long while, is that he can have his back to goal, be under pressure by the opposition, and then somehow wriggle out of it and then play a cutting through ball, incisive through ball. That's so Ndombele.
And that ball he played to Son for that header, which which got saved by Areola. That was Eriksen-esque, that ball. It really was. That half space on the right hand side, little dink over the defence and to the on-rushing Eriksen.
Yeah.
It was on-rushing Son. It was Eriksen-esque.
Why do you think some of the papers gave him a 6?
Because they probably just focused on what he didn't do instead of what he did do, which is he did a lot more than he didn't. You know what I mean? And I think in the second half he did tire a bit, and I felt like he was being a bit giving the ball away a bit. But I felt like he was so good in those opening hour or so that he deserves more praise and he gets criticism.
Sometimes I think these papers just like they downvote if a player's substituted, just like default. You know what I mean?
They don't really watch it, do they?
Yeah.
That's a lot of the time. They're not really focusing. We can see it with our eyes. But that was number 3. Number 4 was Wasteful Son.
Ooh, harsh.
It is harsh, but that was the sad reality of the game.
Unlucky Heung-min Son.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
Well, he had 4 big chances.
Well, let's go
four
through
really
those
big
chances. So he had the header, right? That was the first big chance, I think.
He had the header, which was really great save from Areola.
I think he did well on that, Son. You know, I think he did the right thing. He got it on target. It was actually going top corner as well. I mean,
it was going kind of middle top.
Yeah, but you can't really ask for much more than that from that position, from a header.
Okay.
You know?
He had. There was that chance, which was really good save. There was a second chance.
I can't remember the other.
Yeah, there was a second chance. Aurier plays a ball across the face of goal, and he actually gets his left foot to it. And Areola, it was just outside the 6-yard box. He gets his left foot to it, and Areola hits it away with his foot, and it was just too straight. The finish. It could have been either side. Either side, that's a goal. He should have scored that one. He had the one. Obviously, he goes through on goal, and he hits the post. So that was a scuffed shot. Which
it was a scuffed shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he really
was he completely
through
on goal, or was he under pressure taking that shot?
He had a one player to his left, but he should have scored. He really should have scored. It was a really good through ball by Ndombele, and he kind of scuffed it and it hit the post. And then he had another chance when Reguilon crossed it from the left hand side. He had a header and he put it wide. It wasn't a great effort. It was a harder chance, that one, but he could have done a bit better. So 4 really presentable chances, and considering the scoring rate he's been doing this season, 50% conversion rate is ridiculous like that. It's not, obviously some would argue that's not sustainable. Maybe that's why he was missing some chances yesterday, but unfortunately he was the one culpable yesterday for, I think, probably us not taking the points, him not putting away those chances.
The scuffed one was like a bit of a disappointment. It was like unusual for him not to bury that. I was expecting him the net to bulge on that one, because he just from his track record. So I'll give him, you've got to cut him a bit of slack for that.
Yeah,
the other ones, like the what you've got to ask from your forwards is to hit the target. If a player's hitting the target, like, you can't be too bad on them. You know what I mean? If he's like blasting that one over the bar, then you'd say, "Geez, look, that's really wasteful." But if he's working the keeper, if he's hitting the target, then you're doing your job. You know what I mean?
Well, he hit the target twice, missed the target twice.
Yeah, so
it's difficult. Look, but the thing is, he had 4. Look, when you have 4 chances, you miss all 4 of them in one game, and you ended up drawing 1-1. You got to say it's a bit wasteful.
Okay.
And he was kind of look, and the fact of the matter is, all our chances pretty much fell to him, all the good ones. And we should have done. Spurs were wasteful. He was wasteful.
I still love you, Son. All right,
we all love Son. We all love Son. It was just he was wasteful in this game. It's unfortunate, but I'm sure he'll go back to his best. But the last and I think the most crucial takeaway is our aerial struggles.
New Disney sequel.
Yeah, Under the Sea. Unfortunately, Dyer was under Cavallero big time yesterday, that's for sure. The aerial struggles, obviously we have talked a lot about on this channel about set pieces, how we've struggled. What we haven't really talked about is actually it's in the air where we're struggling a lot and where we're losing our man. And that's what Mourinho touched on a lot after the game. He was talking about how we have been losing a lot of aerial presence in the box, and other players have been getting to the ball first with their head, which has been costing us, first of all, a lot of set pieces. But it wasn't even a set piece yesterday. It cost us from open play. But if you look at the headers we've conceded, you look at Everton, Calvert-Lewin scored a header. You look at West Ham, they got 3-1 to get back in the game. That was a header. You look at Newcastle, Andy Carroll causing trouble with headers. You look at Wolves, header from a corner. You look at Crystal Palace, they got a flick on which caused a melee, which got a header. And you look at yesterday, that was a goal from a
Liverpool.
header.
Did you say Liverpool?
Liverpool, header last minute. And Leicester, a header caused the own goal. Right, Vardy's header across the face of goal caused the own goal from Toby.
Right, yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
That was another header. So, in total, headers that we've conceded, 8 goals have cost us 12 points. 12 points have been cost from headers this season. That is what needs to be sorted. Surely you can identify that problem as how are we not winning these headers? How are we conceding so many goals from headers and costing us so many points? If we headed a few of these away, it would be so many more points up.
Yeah, it's just the positional play's bad. I mean, Dyer, I don't want to keep going back. I don't want to scapegoat anyone individually, but he's just not tracking the ball, is he? He's not tracking the flight of the ball.
And unfortunately, when you look at these headers, the one against Everton, Dyer was beaten. The one against Liverpool, he was on the floor. The one yesterday, he was beaten.
Did you say Newcastle?
Newcastle as well. He was involved in that one. Yeah. So there's a few times Dyer's been involved in these headers, and aerially, that is where he's supposed to be strong.
That's meant to be his strength.
One of his strengths,
exactly.
Heading the ball away. And a few times he's been missing men, missing flight, misjudging flights of the balls. I'm not saying it's just him who's conceding the headers, because there's other players as well, because there's 8 goals conceded, not just him. But he's definitely a factor, and 12 points conceded is going to be cost us big time when we look back on this at the end of the season. Yeah. So we definitely need to improve that.
Yeah, so go on the training ground and just do some drills or something.
Literally, just throw the ball up in the air, I think. Just continually throw the ball up in the air. Yeah, that's it. Check it out on Disney Plus, I think, when it comes out. All right, so those are the 5 takeaways. You got the small issues, big problems, fullback threat, dominant and Ndombele, wasteful Son, and aerial struggles. Let me know in the comments below, what are your takeaways for this game? Let me know what you thought we learned from this game. Like, subscribe, and comment below. And as always, come on you Spurs.